Hey guys, Chris with Fort Park Property Management here. I want to talk to you today about a subject that is very near and dear to my heart. That is the pros and cons of being a strata agent, also known as a strata manager or sometimes called a property manager, although I don't really like to use the terminology property manager or manager in general. I find it's sound very much dictatorial and like you're telling people what to do. Really, our role as strata licensees is to be agents for the owners. So we work for the owners, we work for the council, and we kind of do their bidding, providing that it's, within the boundaries of our agency agreement. But anyways, what are the pros and cons of being a strata agent? Well, there's lots of pros, but there's also a few cons. But I would say, generally speaking, the pros outweigh the cons. And I guess I'm a little bit biased because I'm in the industry. So first of all, we're going to talk about the pros. So some of the pros is reasonably flexible schedule. So once you've built up your portfolio, maybe you manage 10 buildings or 15 buildings or whatever it is, you know the cadence of their meetings. They're going to have a meeting every quarter. They're going to have their AGM every November. You get that scheduled in. You can schedule that at the beginning of the year. First meeting with them. Schedule out all your meetings. Know exactly when you're going to have to be doing meetings. You know when you can take your holidays. And you're going to have your whole schedule set. No one's telling you to do that. That's something you have to do on your own as a strata agent. And the stratas will work to your schedule based on experience. If you're organized, make it work for your schedule. So you can really work around it. If you're going to be working probably a few evenings every week doing meetings, maybe not. And just make sure that it works for your particular schedule. Maybe you've got a jiu-jitsu class every Tuesday and Thursday as an example. And so you don't want to do Tuesday and Thursday evening meetings, do Mondays and Wednesdays, or do, try and get some afternoon meetings. That's another thing too. A lot of people do daytime meetings, especially with technology now. You can meet with your strata councils over lunch, right? Over Zoom. It's very, very easy to do that. So be organized, set your schedule. You get to make your own schedule. Of course, you can, if you're going to be working a little bit later, you can start later. You need to take a day off to do some personal appointments, things like that. It's not going to be a problem. So that's definitely a pro, and I'd say that's one of the biggest pros. Another good thing about being a strata agent is that the money can be quite good for you, depending on how busy you want to be. So usually when you're starting out, you're just getting trained, you're being subsidized by the strata management company. The money isn't that good. It kind of weeds people out, right? You're not getting paid a lot. You're not really in charge of your own schedule. It kind of sucks at first, but eventually, as you build up experience, you will make yourself more and more marketable. You can take on more and more properties or more challenging properties, bigger towers, maybe airspace parcels, section properties, things like this, some that have maybe short-term rentals in them, or more maintenance issues, or older buildings that require a lot of maintenance. And you can generate more revenue from those. And if you're a straight employee, usually most work on some kind of salary along with bonus structure. But the more properties you take on or are willing to take on, generally the more you can get paid. And it's not uncommon for, strata agents they're going to be very, very busy, but to be making upwards of $100,000. So, and from there it can just go up. So it really depends on how much you want to make, but the sky really, of course there's a cap and there is a limit, but the sky is quite high for that, considering you don't really need even a college education to become a strata agent. The other thing is, if you like people, you get to work with a lot of different people, networking with people. And I think this sometimes gets overlooked, but you will meet so many people when you're a strata agent, owners, council members that you get to know quite well over the years after you've worked with the building. You're going to develop a very close relationship with a lot of these owners, and it can open up other doors for you. Not that you necessarily ever want to leave the strata industry, but if you did, you're going to have a network of people that you're going to be able to potentially do other things with down the road. And I think that's something that's kind of overlooked, but it's really a very important thing. And it can really lead to a lot of other different roads. A lot of people have left the industry and gone on to work for vendors or worked in sales or things like that. Another pro is just what you learn in the job can prepare you for a lot of other things in life. So, not only do you have to be organized, but you have to really understand financials, how to read financials. You have to be able to negotiate with people. You have to have, be able to deal with people. And dealing with people is the one thing that, at least at this point, AI isn't going to be able to do for us. A lot of jobs are disappearing because of AI. There's no question, and they're going to disappear. A lot of things that don't require a lot of interaction. But dealing with people, at least for the foreseeable future, is going to be a very important thing. And you can do a lot of other things. You're going to become a very good public speaker, dealing with the public, dealing with complaints. It's just going to up your emotional intelligence in a way that is hard to train for, and being a strat agent for 2 or 3 years will train you to deal with a lot of stuff, whether it's in your personal life or your business life. Now, not everything is roses, of course. There are some issues with being a strat agent, and I'm going to try to be as honest as possible and give you some of the definite cons. So, one of the cons is that you have to do a lot of strata meetings. So it can be anywhere from 50 to maybe 100 meetings a year. Maybe you're doing a couple every week. A lot of those meetings are going to be in the evenings, and that's just the nature of the beast. So if you want your evenings free, you like to sit down for dinner at 6:30 every single night, and that's it, you're done for the night. Maybe being a strata manager isn't the right role for you. Now, with technology, a lot of meetings have been able to move during to daytime meetings, which has really helped that. And it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, back in the day before COVID, you had to drive to all these meetings and meet in person. So maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, you were driving out to a different municipality, maybe a half-hour drive or an hour drive, and then an hour back, and you'd be getting home late. Maybe it's 10 o'clock, but that's not the case anymore. Now you can do it from the comfort of your own living room. Maybe it's from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and then you're done. You put the kids to bed, have dinner, you're good to go, right? You're not coming home at 10. So that is a con, but it's also become a bit of a pro as the job. I think it's gotten a lot easier because of the video technology. Another con is you're just going to be really freaking busy. You have to be very organized. If you're not organized, you're going to get absolutely murdered by the volume of calls and emails that come in, the volume of tasks that are required, and the amount of just delegating to whether it's building managers or maintenance managers, vendors, things like that. There's a lot of moving parts. If you have, 15 buildings and each one of those buildings has 200 tasks that need to get completed in a month, that could be 300 tasks. Now, maybe they're not all complicated, they're not all difficult, but it's still a lot of moving parts. You have to use really good software for this. It's very important. If you try to rely on, an Excel spreadsheet or writing them down in a book or your memory, Lord help you, you're never going to do it. You're going to be a disaster. You have to use software. There's tons of project management tools out there, task list tools. Use those, whatever your strata management company does, and by far, you want to be using that. A thing to remember is that you're very marketable. There's a bit of a shortage, not a bit, there's a huge shortage right now out there of experienced, licensed strata managers. And you're going to be very marketable. So once you've got those couple years of experience under your belt, you can go anywhere. Literally you can go to the company across town, you can go negotiate for more, you want more vacation or better pay or, more work from home days, things like that. You're going to become very marketable. So I'd say overall, it is a very, very highly in-demand career. There's a lot of people hiring experienced agents right now, and they're building more and more condos. So this is only going to continue as more people keep flooding into the Vancouver area. And it's the same in Toronto. It's the same thing all over, to be honest with you. Any city across North America that's urbanizing, building towers, whether it's HOAs or COAs down in the US, very high demand. If it's something you're interested in and you just want to chat and learn a little bit more about the industry, please comment below. Let us know your thoughts or reach out to us, fortpark.ca, the Contact Us page, or you can call 604-447-7275. Be happy to sit down and have a chat with you. And we hope you took something out of that.